What's important to you in your personal life?
Starting to prioritise more, find what is more important, and balancing things better as well, So as you get older, stress kind of weighs on your shoulders a bit more with work and stuff, but yeah, working it out, definitely.
And how's that going? What is important?
Definitely time to relax is important. Work is really full, and I think in our day and age, especially my career, can be really quite heavy. But yeah, spending time definitely with your friends, and being amongst nature for me is something that just have to get out of town, go and do that for a week and then come back. So yeah, definitely those three things are very important to me.
And what about what really doesn't work in your personal life? What's kind of not happening? What's not good?
Large share houses. It's not good. It's really annoying sometimes. Yeah. Otherwise, I think my life's pretty good. I think I'm, especially here, working to balance it really well. So a bit of exercise, a bit of work, a bit of play, a bit at the pub, a bit out to dinner, a bit at home for dinner, yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so if you take that then, to like a bigger place and go, well, that's personal, private, like right here, right now, then you look at the world and go, okay, well, what really cheeses you off about how the world is right now? What's kind of the wrong thing that you think, it'd be good if that wasn't like that?
Yeah. Big question. A lot of things get to me. I'd say probably the biggest one you can relate to, 1984 by George Orwell, and he says like the Ministry of Truth, and they take care of lies. So the media, that sort of stuff is a pretty annoying thing for me. Also, yeah, the corruption. I see a lot of corruption, just being in India as well. I see a lot more corruption. And I think as far as our highest level goes, like of global management and that sort of stuff, because everything's gotten to a global level, obviously, really needs to be addressed as a serious issue, not as something that they're going to, dance around, like environmental issues, for example, danced around and then portrayed differently in the media and, that sort of stuff.
And that's really how you see things are going, that it's just there's kind of a manipulation of knowledge and truth and information?
I think there is to a certain extent. On a large scale there is, and that's something that I really does make me angry, because a lot of people are really not desensitised to it, whereas me and my circle of friends are quite desensitised to it. We don't really watch TV all that much, or and I don't know if it's going that way, but I feel like it is at the moment. Hopefully, alternative media and that sort of stuff is something that people are going to become more aware of, and local media as well. But yeah, hopefully it goes that way and not the other way. Yeah.
And so what's really good about the way the world is right now? Is there something that kind of switches you on and goes, cool, it's still like that, or it's like that?
Yeah, actually, one thing I think is the level of communication that we have at the moment is absolutely amazing. I mean, we have, just look at Australia, for example, or Western Australia where I'm from, it's so eclectic, and there's so many different cultural ideas, religious ideas, spiritual ideas, family, like just everything's so different that true engineering's happening, I think, all these brand new ideas are coming out, and, people are actually genuinely communicating. But then, when it comes to the internet and that sort of stuff, it's amazing for sure, but it'd be cool if communication could come back to a word of mouth kind of thing, and actually, people talk more.
So that's kind of a dark and light side of the same topic, really, isn't it?
In a way, actually, yeah. But I'm quite a positive person, so I always try and find a positive side in things. But hopefully.
So the thing that really kind of upsets you and so on, are you doing anything about it? Are you doing anything to influence that? Has that begun yet, or is 22 still party time?
No, not at all, actually. I've kind of gone through that stage already, and I think I'm pretty mature for a 22-year-old, but I do definitely share my opinions on the issues and ask other people, so I guess I do work with communication, but I do look into the truth a little bit as well, but I don't know. It's something that I could get so caught up in and go for it and just, go through conspiracy theories and all that sort of stuff, but that's not really my style at all. I want to try and keep my mind at bay a little bit and just relax and enjoy life a bit.
Mm-hmm. So relaxing and enjoying life, what is that exactly? I mean, at 22 it may be just a thing of going, well, I can just cruise through the rest of my life, but there are some that would say we all came here to do something.
Yeah,
have you got a sense of what that is?
Absolutely, I do. Relaxing and just cruising through life, pretty much, something I definitely want to do. but do it with an open heart and an open mind. And life's pretty much right now for me about learning as much as I can and experiencing as much as I can and taking that in and just adding that to a part of my life. Of course, work and all that sort of stuff and my career and uni and all that sort of stuff's there as well. But otherwise, I feel like, yeah, in a way, I guess I'm a bit of a communicator with people. Like, I really open up and just draw ideas out of people, and I love it. It's so amazing to hear what people actually think, because people, I think, don't really express it enough or as truly as they'd like to, because there's all these other ideas. But yeah, I'm really interested in people, I think. So
are you doing what you want right now? I had a guy who asked me if you were able to drop away everything that you've been handed that says this is how it is to be a human being, so every responsibility I had, everything that I had promised anyone, every kind of limitation I placed on myself, what would I be doing? And, that was a pretty deep question, and it brought some stuff up for me, and I discovered that what I'm doing is, well, it's pointing to, but it isn't what I would really do.
Yeah.
How does that go for you? Drop everything away, drop lovers, drop friends, drop how you see yourself now, and see yourself as a completely blank page. If that blank page was right there right now and you could do anything you wanted, what would it be?
I would follow my heart 100% and just let go and just let myself float around. I think definitely I'd explore natural environments for sure, and so I'd go and spend some time in the ocean and then back to the hills, and obviously the social thing, cruising around, meeting people, little families, little communities and stuff. That's something that I would do right now. And I'd be so happy to do that.
How different is that to what you're doing? It's pretty close, isn't it?
It's similar, but of course, like I said, work and family and, what am I doing, the plan, blah, 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 am I going to buy land, all this sort of stuff. But, when you take all of that, when you take all of that out of the picture, I think I'm a natural for sure. I base my day around getting up, going to the ocean, that sort of stuff, and I don't know. Yeah, definitely. I think I'm pretty close, but that's great. That's good, hey?
Yeah, that is good. Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
If you're doing exactly what you came here to do, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
When you say you like to communicate with people, do you see that being used in any particular way? If you were able to scan yourself years forward, how might that be? Is it going to be a matter of just having happy communications with people you come across, or will you use that somehow?
I have used it previously. I used to be an environmental activist for 2.5 years for the Wilderness Society. So I travelled all around Australia doing actions and just doing general public awareness and that sort of stuff, talking to kids at schools and, so I definitely have learned a lot about communication. But I think communication is just the tool that we use to kind of, actually get to know each other, and that's something, that relationship between people is amazing, and I think you can just experience and learn so much from it. And so I constantly just meeting people and taking a little bit from them, giving a little back to them, like knowledge and emotions and that sort of stuff as well. But yeah.
Cool. So final question.
Cool.
Quite often when people sit in front of a camera and a microphone, they think, yeah, this is kind of nice and kind of fun and stuff. I want you to imagine that watching this particular recording right now is 50 million people.
Yeah, wow.
And those 50 million people are just wanting to hear what your piece of wisdom is. So, if you were going to say to people, hey, this is my piece of advice.
Yeah.
If I'm in any way qualified to give advice, this is my piece of advice to you. Each of those 50 million people, what would that be?
Ooh. That's the biggest question you've asked so far.
Save it for last.
I don't know whether I'd tell people something or if I'd be really inspirational and try and say something positive,
Go on, then.
I guess that we're all so beautiful and so passionate and so divine and so compassionate, that we have so much power in us that we can use towards a greater good, whether it to be, to help someone with something, to go and talk to someone for no reason, without all of that sort of stuff that you were talking about that weighs people down. If people just became a bit more conscious of how they treat people and how they treat themselves, in here as well, you know, how much pressure they put themselves under just to slow right down and just go back to a bit of a natural way of living, I think. Just be conscious of how much we take as well.